A big wave of changes hits all of Shadowlands systems on top of Blizzard reverting the "don't use Covenant abilities outside of Shadowlands" thingy. Blizzard Versailles offices closes and we have beta keys to give away. Yes, not flags, actual keys. So time to sit back and relax for today's On Cooldown, the weekly WoW news show for the whole family to watch. Not really, we curse sometimes.
All right. We start these pieces with the conclusion, cause fuck logic. Shadowlands systems are being overhauled though. You might think that overhaul is a strong word, but listen, it's not really. We dabble into classes on a weekly basis and almost every video we release for a spec has one change or more a few days later posted by Blizzard. So, that doesn't mean you shouldn't watch our stuff. You should definitely check all of it out. And also make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube and with notifications enabled. Thing is, over the course of the past few weeks, we have seen a trend in how the devs address the multiple systems of Shadowlands. And yes, there are many systems. You have, Covenant class abilities, Covenant signature abilities, you have soulbinds with their passive traits, you have conduits, which are the socketed traits that go into your soulbind and impact your spec directly, and you have legendaries. Did I miss anything? Well, we can argue that everything your character does through your input comes from layers of player power, spells, talents, items, then all of the ones above as well. These are a lot and a lot to balance. And the constant nerfs we've seen to legendaries, covenant abilities, and soulbinds indicate that they realized it. They might have had the conversation going something like this.
Holy shit, Ian. Do I also have to go through all of this bullshit to raid?
Well, fuck that. Let's just nerf everything so it won't matter as much.
Funny. This is probably more accurate for the Covenant abilities, which, as a main example, had Shaman a few weeks ago one-shotting people with Chain Harvest and Fate Transfusion. Me. I'm people. I have been one-shotted by a Shaman as a DK. After that, we have seen more nerfs in general. This signifies that Blizzard wants the restrictive power gains that are behind locks and whatever to be less impactful. That and rechanging the conduit system had a big impact. Conduits have had two major changes recently. One is that soulbinds will only have 2 potency slots now, which refer to the strongest conduits types in terms of power provided, and a charge system when it comes to resetting them. Remember I said before that conduits will end up being the biggest power gains? Well, spank my bottom and call me Nancy because gosh darn it, I called it. The 2 potency conduit nerfs are also evening out the soulbinds across the board since some only had 2 slots to begin with. While the charge system sees you get 1 conduit charge per day up to a maximum of 10. When changing a conduit, you consume 1 charge. When learning a new conduit, possibly a new rank as well, you gain a charge. Seeing as how you will really only want to change the potency ones, this means the charge system won't stop you from playing what you want unless you want to just play arms for a dungeon, Fury for the second, Prot for the third, then raid 2 bosses as Fury and the rest as arms. And if you are that person, then you can go... But for everyone else, it's going to be just fine. And you probably heard this similar train of thought from other people as well. It's fine, and Covenant abilities being nerfed just makes their power less impactful and not make you feel so bad for playing Necrolord DK instead of Fairy Final Fantasy JRPG DK. The conduit ranks is also another progression system. As with any, the implementation matters, and I see there being a catch-up mechanic to their ranks added in eventually, similar to Artifact Power and Legion. Getting my conduits, which doesn't seem too difficult right now, is cool, and if I can make them stronger by playing with small incremental damage gains, that's even better. And having to worry about only 2 active potency ones makes my decisions in building my character first more varied, and then less stressful that I keep upgrading the wrong conduit instead of all the 3. Am I right or am I right? In the comments, yo!
So, earlier this week we got news that Covenant abilities and conduits could not be used in any zone outside of Shadowlands. Meaning that after Shadowlands launched and you got to max level and wanted to do something in Kulturas or do some transmog raid farms in previous expansions, raids or dungeons, you could not make use of your newly acquired power from Shadowlands. A weird and controversial change to say the least, as the WoW Reddit and forums were absolutely bombarded with folks expressing their disagree in very civilized and diplomatic manner. So much so that the game director himself, Mr. Ian Hazakostas, took the time to grab the mic and step on the forum stage to announce that they will revert this change in the upcoming beta build. He did mention that the team was pretty much on the fence with this decision and they wanted to make Shadowlands power strictly available only for the expansions content due to world fantasy reasons, but mainly because they wanted to experiment with the more solid grounding of expansion-specific systems being tied to their specific expansions. They also realized that covenants are the heart and soul of Shadowlands and players go through them getting close and personal, not to mention the progression layout they provide, and it wouldn't feel right for folks coming in the game in the next expansion after Shadowlands going through the content only to have it disabled once they reach level 61 and move towards 70. The argument is fine and dandy, but the real outcry was because of previous examples. I mean, you can use Azurite traits and essences in other zones, raids, and dungeons, not only in BFA. So as much as we can all appreciate a thinking forward mentality, both you and me can simply say that we are happy with this change being reverted. Jesus, man, sometimes I just wish I could be a fly on the wall into these meetings they have and agree that decisions like these are good.
And today's comment of the day comes from Dennis Worth, and he said,
"You guys have really grown on me. I like you."
Hey, we like to grow on people!
Hey, we like Dennis too!
Yeah, now let's eat the fool!
We talked about the Shadowlands systems getting an overhaul, and yeah, legendaries are also part of the Shadowlands systems, only that their overhaul kind of goes the other way. Similar to Covenants, we have seen systematic nerfs to legendaries, which was a bit weird. It was a bit weird because of a few reasons. One, the devs clearly do not like the amount of power gains players had in 8.3, and if they did, well, hot diggity, have fun making players happy about losing 400% haste. So they don't want the borrowed power to be as impactful as it was before because, you know, you'll lose it eventually. Hence, all the nerfs. But Covenants being nerfed makes sense. You don't want to feel bad for picking the one you like over the one that is stronger. Same with conduits, that you have to, grind and keep swapping around based on the content you do. Legendaries, though, made no sense. You could only wear one legendary and you could choose from 4 spec-specific ones, 4 class-specific ones, and at least 4 general ones, possibly more in the future. Legendaries also have more personality and impact to your gameplay, and getting the one that's fun won't prevent you from swapping to another you managed to get by doing a 2-week lockout quest. That's not how it works. Or, having a recharge system, not for legendaries. So they doubled back. They let out a blue post essentially saying that they went a bit overboard with the nerfs and they are looking into putting more power into the legendary items. Which, in all fairness, that's how it should be. Legendary items always been the biggest player power source. They are legendary. We already lost the meaning of epics when epics are more common than rares, and let's not mention actual common items. So let's keep legendaries legendary. They already nailed the mark with the powers being account bound, which matters more for the generic legendaries. So, if you're the one that plays a lot of alt upon alt, maybe aim to unlock stuff like Vitality Sacrifice so that all your tanks can have access to it. And really, at the end of the day, we are playing an RPG, a massively multiplayer online one, but an RPG nonetheless. Items and gear should always be the coolest things to aim for and grind, and I am all for legendaries being buffed.
Sad news for the folks over at the Blizzard office in Versailles, France, as they got the news that the office will be closing with yet another disgusting push from Activision to take even more out of Blizzard's heart. The Versailles office was at one point Blizzard's biggest in Europe, and it was the home for a lot of great people handling marketing, community management, customer support, and localization work. Both me and Flame can honestly say that it will be a huge loss for the company, as we got to know a couple of amazing people working there. truly folks that live and breathe Blizzard, the good one. We said this before, just because Activision is now dictating more and more, it doesn't mean that within Blizzard there aren't super talented and humble human beings that actually care for the games and their communities. But there is so much they can do when directives come from higher ups. You have to realize that Blizzard doesn't have a CEO anymore, not since Mike Morhaime stepped down. J. Allen Brack is the president of Blizzard, and although he had his mean times, I honestly believe that this came from way above him and he could do really nothing about it. There was a lot of uncertainty in Versailles since the big layoffs from the beginning of 2019, as 134 out of the 400 working there were cut off, but French labor laws are very strict when it comes to layoffs and severance packages. It seems that the original plan was to move half of the staff to the London office, but due to the pandemic and Brexit, this never took fruition. If you look at the history of Blizzard, they always operated under other companies like Davidson & Associates, Vivendi, later on Activision Blizzard, but they always retained their autonomy, having all decisions come directly from them. Not the case anymore, clearly, and this is becoming more and more apparent since Mike left the company. Speaking of Mike, it was quite heartwarming to see that he tweeted out his feelings in regards to the Blizzard Versailles office, proving once again what type of a CEO he has been and how he cherished all these places. I would like to add that, although this is not a specific World of Warcraft news bit, we all have a lot to lose from this. The Versailles team put in a lot of work and dedication when it came to WoW's Shadowlands communication, interviews, forum posts, and it's because of them content creators like us had the chance to get you guys joining the Shadowlands beta and other cool stuff. Speaking of beta keys, you made it through here, might as well find out. Join the Shadowlands beta key giveaway. We have 5 actual keys to give away. So let me tell you how this will work. First off, make sure to join our Discord channel because the giveaway will be held through a giveaway bot over there. There's a top channel within our Discord channel that you will be able to see what's happening. Second, make sure to tune in on our stream Monday, that's the 12th of October.
So yeah, and next week.
Yeah, make sure to follow us so you know when we go live. It's usually around 1 or 2 p.m. CET, so that's more or less the schedule over there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it live on the stream, right? So once we go to stream, we open up the Discord, we set up the giveaway, and you're basically gonna have to react within that channel on our Discord channel to be able to win. It's all going to be randomized. You know, the bot will select 5 people to win the keys. So again, they're actual keys.
Only 5, yeah.
And it's actual 5 of them. And this once again has been provided by us courtesy of the Blizzard Versailles office, which we love so much, and there's amazing people there. I've talked about it in the piece.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of happenings this week. This was one of the more sad ones. There was actually more things happening in the game as well, with big ass changes to all of the. You can call it a fucking overhaul. It is.
Yeah, we did call out the tuning that was happening, and a lot of content creators released a lot of videos about this. I mean, pretty much everybody's on top of this because the changes are weird and also kind of nice, since they're like nerfing a lot of stuff, so we don't feel incentivized to go one way and feel bad for not going another way. And the blue post for legendaries, like, we did like 180, like, oh, after we nerf it, yeah, no, we're just gonna buff all
It's
of them.
You know, it's probably for the better that they're doing this. I honestly believe that the delay of Shadowlands is in a big majority based off of this, because they realized, hey man, this is going really south right now. And also the fact, you know, the change to the Covenant abilities not being able to be used outside of Shadowlands content, that was just ridiculous. I'm super happy they reverted that. And Ian took the stage for that. I honestly believe it's for the better, and even although this is a mess, again, they created, right? They like to complicate themselves with all of these huge ass systems to balance out, to make work.
Yeah.
It's overall, we believe it's one thing that has again proven that they are listening, they are looking, and they don't want to repeat a BFA. So that's good in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good, because, you know, we haven't received a lot of class death, and all we're getting is like these extra power systems and not being able to use them. Like, we are part of the covenant, right? We should be able to use those outside of the Shadowlands because they're like a part of us.
You're becoming a Venter Paladin, right? Or a Necrolord DK. It's gonna be a staple, right?
You have to go in
as well.
Durotar and Ashen Hollow those boars, man.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, it's been crazy week, I would say, with a lot of
happenings. A lot of things happened, yes indeed. There's some sad news, some good news. Some Henry Cavill being Arthur's news, by the way.
I saw that. It's not confirmed, dude.
No, of course it's not confirmed, but it's
the mock-up. Yeah, the mock-ups keep piling up.
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty good. Maybe we can get some hype going in this direction.
Yeah, I think Henry Cavill would agree to play Arthur. So
oh, you think?
Because he's a WoW player.
The WoW nerd, of course he is, yeah.
All right, but once again, we could have not made this possible without the support of our Patreons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the content month by month. We have all of the class previews from the beta. We have the weekly WoW News Show, the MoCast podcast, which is on every Monday, and a lot of more cool things to come your way, definitely. Also, our Twitch guys, our Twitch subscribers and viewers and followers, not to mention all of the mods and admins, our contributors to the videos, because we're gonna have a lot of people who are mods in the Twitch, mods in our Discord, also helping out within the video. So thank you guys once again. It's been an amazing ride, and hopefully I would say close announcement for the new release date for Shadowlands will be more of a blessing than a curse.
Yeah, we do so think so.
All right, that's Flame's input right there. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great weekend ahead. See you all very, very soon.
Bye, everybody.
Fucking more.
I thought we were gonna cut that off.
What the fuck is that?
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.